ready for some black sheep?
What was that?
Exercise is live!
Black Sheep Bravo, broadcasting from red zone to green zone and everywhere in between. Always armed.
Welcome back to another episode of Black Sheep Bravo. I am the Spaniard. With me today, as always, is Paul, Trouble Porter, Crash, and the very respectable but daunty Max, our technical producer. We got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to kick it off, starting off with some, I guess you wouldn't want to call it libertarian type of information about gays and the Freedom of Religion Act. There is a ship out in Mississippi, the USS Portland, that is looking to be christened out in Mississippi, but there is some controversy about people don't want to go to Mississippi because of that new law that has been enacted. So what do you guys think about this?
It's, you know what? It's gay stuff all over again. Like, I thought we were past this. I thought we were matured as a country. Obviously, we're not. I thought we were ready to accept everybody in the Rainbow Bright community.
So do we stop? I mean, just because this law has passed, do we have to pout now and say, I can't take my toys over there to play because you guys don't want to play nice? I mean, do we just stop at business, or what are we doing here?
What toys are we talking about here?
We're talking about christening. We're talking about business. I mean, so far, if you look in the news, we got Bryan Adams, who canceled a concert in North Carolina because of the Freedom of Religions or Religious Liberty Act. We got a couple other people that said that they weren't going to come to Mississippi because of this act. So
they go from holding down black people to holding down the gay and lesbian and community.
No one is safe.
No one is safe. They you know what? They stick to their guns.
Well, the Navy sticks to their guns. I mean, obviously, the Navy, basically the nuts and bolts of this story is, no pun intended with the nuts and bolts, but the Navy is moving a ceremony possibly out of Mississippi, which is a huge naval yard there. Ships normally launch there. They want kind of dignitaries coming in, and so they want to move this because of law changes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when we make all that bantering in between each other in the branches of service, I think it's also kind of coincidental that the Navy's behind this whole gay thing.
Well, yeah. What difference does it make? A while back ago, people were talking about you should not mix state and religion, and here we're doing it. We're doing it all over.
Sex or religion?
Well, whatever.
What country are you from?
Well, you know, they've been mixing.
You got to make that division. You're a religious state or you're a state that upholds the law.
Well, why is the military getting involved with politics?
Exactly.
That's
why.
Well, who gives a junk? I almost swore FCC would have had me on that one.
So an example here. It was in Indianapolis, was it a pizza place or it was a bakery where a gay couple went in there and they were refused service because they were gay. Now we have a naval yard in Mississippi that the people that want to christen it don't want to go there because Mississippi has passed that law. Who's wrong here?
Right now, to me, the Navy's wrong because, first of all, that's not their domain. They shouldn't be. In no way, shape, or form should they be trying to insert themselves into the state's dealings and how they legislate themselves. That's first and foremost. So the fact that they want to take it away because of certain people don't want to show up.
I'm sure all the guys in boots on ground are cheering that they canceled this ceremony. And let's be honest,
which is probably true.
Those ceremonies are drier than a fart in church. You know what? If gays knock the ceremony off or a law knocks it off, I'm just happy for the guy on the ground that doesn't have to sit through that misery.
I don't have to sit through it. I mean, I can care less.
Well, the other thing is it's in Mississippi, and who really wants to be in...
Yeah, what does Mississippi even offer?
Ball sweaty Mississippi.
Tell me you guys have not been to Mustang Sally's in Gulfport.
Never been.
I've been to Gulfport.
I went to a fish fry once.
Let's just say if you guys end up in Gulfport and you want to have a good time, and let's say hypothetically in a different life you weren't married, that's where you want to go.
Here's another thing that kind of gets my goat. The Christians, and again,
No-
I'm a Buddhist.
No
okay?
pun intended with the goat.
With the goat. Yeah. I consider myself a level-headed kind of person. I practice Buddhism. I love everybody, love everything. But see, now when the Christians come into play and they say, okay, it's ungodly for people like that to come into this state, and now all of a sudden they're holier than thou, who are they to be pointing the finger at other people saying...
Well, let me ask you this, Buddha. Where would you be if your parents were both gay men? You wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
It's not natural.
It's not natural. But yes, I'm still here. You know, you can't change that. You can't change that.
I'm just saying.
So you're telling me that because two women walk into
Women
this
are
place.
fine.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Oh, not all two women are
Yeah.
fine. Not all two women.
I actually saw
I saw a bad two women, and it made me throw up in
Puke
my mouth.
factor.
Well, I don't know what websites you're visiting, but the websites I visit.
Oh, they're already screened for hotness. Nice. Like one of my girls, and I'm not gonna loosely said my girls.
You started stuttering. I
Man,
know this is good.
she looked like Trump on crack.
And this was your ex,
No,
Paul.
this is the chick you picked up last night.
We're gonna tell your wife.
oh, you
You
tell
got
her.
pictures, don't you? Show us the pictures.
Man, the one looked
Please
like
don't.
looked like Trump on crack, and the other one just looked like a wrestler.
When did you pay for an hour for that?
Did you give her the coupon?
Be honest.
Oh, okay.
Did
I
she-
had like 5 coupons and a biscuit.
Did she
and
also
they
have
went
to-
for it?
Did you have to also throw in a kitchen tour at the casino?
Oh,
And you saw the purple waffle,
the purple
I thought it was blue waffle.
blue waffle.
Don't Google that.
Don't Google that.
Don't. The
All
blue,
right.
No, I got to know now.
So I think we had enough gay talk, or you guys want to talk more about this? Because the bathrooms is another issue. People are complaining about bathrooms, the gender issues
I know
with
it's-
bathrooms. And
I know it's in the news, and I know it was a story that was kind of a hot topic in the veteran community on some of the channels. That's why we brought it up. I'll probably reserve my opinions to further extent and just say.
I'll pee anywhere.
Ooh, yeah, I do too.
Outside,
I'll pee
inside.
right now. You know what? I'm going right now as we speak.
So I have
I'll
a
need
funny story about peeing.
Really?
Do you?
Not that kind of
A
story.
golden shower kind
No,
of thing?
no.
Oh, geez.
So we live on a farm, obviously, and my boy. So every time he has to pee, I'm just like, "Hey, go by the barn or go by the chicken coop and just pee real quick." So he was going to community college for their preschool program, and this teacher calls my phone frantic. Like I thought Grayson may have burnt the school down or something,
Yeah.
which wouldn't have surprised me. But so apparently he had to go to the bathroom there on the playground. So he dropped drawers right there in the playground and peed behind the
Nice.
slide. And apparently in this yuppie neighborhood that wasn't very appreciated.
Wait. You got to name me like 2 neighborhoods it's going to be appreciated in.
Where,
Yeah.
where I live,
Oh.
where I live, and just east of where I
The
live,
sticks.
I have one neighbor.
Oh,
So-
that must be nice.
Yeah. I just walk around farting naked all day.
Oh, okay, next story. As long as it doesn't smell like burnt rubber, I won't worry about you.
That's what lube is for.
All right, so did the U.S. Navy's accused spy dish to Taiwan and China? It's kind
Yes.
of a weird headline for this story, but U.S. Navy officer Lieutenant Commander Edwin Lin is basically accused of being charged with espionage, attempted espionage, and patronizing a prostitute. So of these 3 charges, I think the patronizing of a prostitute is probably the most severe. I think they should just finally unionize so they have some kind of
Prostitution?
representation. Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't yet. I'm surprised they aren't marching on different streets of America wanting $15 an hour like everybody else does.
Yeah.
$15 an hour, that's pretty cheap.
Well, and then you wouldn't be patronized by Lieutenant Commander Edwin Lin.
Well, you can get your business done in 3 minutes, so the $15,
Well- Lin has been tied to the attempted transfer of classified information basically to these 2 countries, Taiwan and China. He's had an Article 32 hearing on Friday, and a decision about whether to formally begin a formal court-martial is expected as early as next week. So this guy moved to the U.S. from Taiwan when he was about 14. He became a U.S. citizen in 2008 and began an assignment in the Navy about mid-2015 when he worked for a Special Projects Patrol Squadron, also known as VPU-2. And it's basically a Hawaiian-based unit that does top maritime patrol officers that do fly the P-3 Orion, the 8 Alpha, Poseidon, surveillance aircraft. Anyways, sounds like something out of a war movie or a spy movie. But what I really wonder on this story is, did this guy move here intentionally, or was he planted here? Like, his whole life has been geared around coming to the U.S., stealing information, and sending it back to China. In Taiwan.
It does sound like a movie. And it sounds like a TV show that's on. What, you guys ever see that show, The Americans? Where you got Russian agents
I saw
planted in the U.S. Now, it's kind of like the story we talked about before when the Sikh was fighting to keep his beard and his turban. It's like you don't know who is sent here for what, if their intentions are, in fact, I want to support the U.S. I came here to be a U.S. citizen versus I came here to
spy.
I know where you're going with that, and the Sikhs a bad example because they're not Muslims. They're,
no.
It's a different. But I understand where you're going with that. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder when you start thinking of some of the other cases. Hassan. Major Hassan who did the shooting at Fort Hood. You start to think about those kinds of stories, even that wasn't espionage and that wasn't spy stuff or spycraft. But you start to wonder in the bigger picture. Was this crafted over a 25-year span? Were these individuals positioned perfectly to get into where they're at?
So what would you do to him now? Obviously, he hasn't gone through a court-martial yet, but he's innocent until proven guilty. But let's say he is. Let's say he has been proven.
Firing squad.
Firing squad? Do you think that's going to be
good
enough? Yeah. I don't know. What about you, Trouble?
Well, first of all, I'm going to flog him.
Flog him, yeah.
Flog him first. In the middle of Times Square.
And then you're going to teabag him?
There you go. No, here's what we do.
I can get Donald Trump to flog him or teabag him.
You can get some money for that.
Trump 2016.
Since he's from Taiwan, or Taiwan.
Well, you know what? I would bring whatever the punishment is from Taiwan, and I would perform it here in the States, in the middle of Times Square on the Jumbotron.
Well, why not have the prostitute patronize him publicly as payback, and then the firing squad?
No, the prostitute makes him make shoes like he used to do when he was a kid working at the Nike plant.
So now Taiwan's going to be with North Korea.
So basically, he's got to make Nikes until his fingers bleed.
Yeah, he has to do that, and he has to give those shoes to different people.
Well, I could use some free labor out on the farm for a couple weeks.
Or maybe we take it old school and have them break rocks.
There you go.
With an old school
I'm not paying for that crap.
No.
The firing squad.
You got to pay for the bullets.
It's $1.27. Stop eating fries, fatty, and provide the money.
You know what? We can force feed him McDonald's until he dies.
No, I'm not feeding him crap. No. Firing squad.
Well, no,
feed him crap. Patronize him.
Literally feed him crap.
I think we should have our listeners help us out with this. If you had a chance, if you were chosen to give the punishment out to Lieutenant Commander Lin if he was found guilty for espionage,
and
what would you like to see him do as far as part of his punishment? Give us a shout. Email us, tweet us, Facebook us. Let us know. We're curious to find out about what you guys think.
Wow. Our listeners, we're going to have some out there responses to that.
Of course, you're going to get those panty wastes. They're going to say, "Oh, I think you have to embrace him," and what was his drive? Screw it, man. He spied. You spy on me, you're going to go down.
You're in the same category as a flag stomper in my eyes. You want to stomp the American flag? Death squad, firing squad.
Yeah. Or just a good thumping. That's all it takes.
Oh, a sledgehammer to the junk.
And too bad the CIA doesn't do waterboarding anymore. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I would like to just do a series of different kinds of torturing techniques just to say we've done it, we tried it.
We need sponsors for that. Like this waterboarding is brought to you by Boeing.
Yeah, see? That's outside the box thinking, man. That's the kind of stuff we need.
Blacksheep Bravo, I'll put it on the table. If the CIA brings waterboarding back, I'm buying airtime, or I'm gonna pay them to have us sponsor them so that when they get those pictures leak out to TMZ or wherever they leak out to, it'll say Black Sheep Bravo. This waterboarding episode brought to you by Black Sheep Bravo Radio.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can dig it.
Yeah, and do it with the brand new T-shirts we got.
Or just like a towel whip, like just get a wet towel and everybody gets turned.
I do that
Could
to
you
my
imagine
wife.
getting waterboarded while getting towel whipped? Oh,
I do that to my wife every once in a while. She
Yeah.
hates it.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't like it when I do that either.
I think she'd rather have a heart attack or cancer, one of the two, because she gets.
Did you catch that? Yeah, he didn't catch it.
What'd you say?
Never mind.
No.
You're gonna have to catch it on the flip side.
Yeah. So on to the next one. So the Obama administration, and of course the black guy's taking this one.
Oh yeah, how did we manage that?
Oh, I don't know.
That wasn't set up.
Was that set up or what?
Was it? I don't.
Max just slid me a piece of paper before we leave waterboarding. He thinks we should make the towels with the BSB logo on them, Black Sheep Bravo logo.
Oh yeah, Max. There you
Choke
go.
on this water.
Ooh.
Choke
Well, wait a
on-
minute.
When I'm done with this waterboarding, I rarely have this desire to listen to Black Sheep Bravo.
It would be some dirty water though.
You just,
Oh, some nasty rainwater.
I was thinking just toilet water.
Toilet.
from the outhouse.
Oh, so not only is he going to choke on the water, he can choke on the smell of the turd that it was
Yeah.
floating around with.
Definitely.
Feces.
Yeah, especially after a gyro night.
So, Paul-
White Castle. Over to the black guy with
Yeah,
the Obama story.
yeah.
Yeah, the black guy with the Obama story. So,
Thanks, Max.
yeah, nice setup there. So John Kerry, he recently toured the Hiroshima Peace Memorial and Museum the week before foreign ministers are going to meet at the G7 summit. I still love that name, the G7 summit. It's like
G. What up,
it's
G?
Gangsta 7 summit.
Gangsters. Everybody's rolling.
Yeah. So Kerry said he wasn't going to apologize for dropping atomic bombs on Japan.
Of course you would.
No, he said he's not going to do it. He
Oh,
didn't do it. Yeah,
no.
no.
Better
Oh, come on now.
not.
He's a little tougher than that.
No way.
Have you seen his chin? You know that guy can take a punch.
Kind of looked like
Him and
Lurch.
Obama both need a punch.
You know what?
That's true.
Maybe
Nothing against your brother.
cousin. Stop. it.
Cousin.
Cousin.
From your mother's cousin side.
Yeah.
Mother, brother's cousin.
Now, my problem is this. Everything, or at least from what I'm reading, is getting set up for Obama to actually apologize for the alleged sins and moral deficiencies of the U.S. every time they get on an international flight and head towards that direction. Like, why are we sorry for dropping a bomb on Hiroshima to end a world war?
I'm freaking sick of this guy. Anything we're freaking American.
Well, I'm tired of everybody being butthurt about everything.
Yeah, sissified.
I'm not apologizing for bombing somebody.
No,
That's
not
like-
at all.
Sorry we didn't bomb sooner.
That's like
Right.
me apologizing for somebody being a slave 4 generations ago. I'm not apologizing for somebody else's crap. And Obama's an idiot if he's going to go out there and apologize and say, "Oh, we did the wrong thing back then." We've already made amends there. Why even put salt in those wounds by bringing it up again?
Because he's on the way
Just
out.
go put a wreath there, smile, go to the golf course, do what you normally do.
You know what? The fact that Japan and between Japan and China own majority of the U.S. anyway, we really don't have anything to apologize about.
Or is he buttering them up for something that we don't know about?
Oh, maybe we're about to drop another bomb. Dum, dum, dum.
I'm about to drop something right now.
I got a bomb to drop. Obama's not going to apologize.
Well,
and,
let's-
and if he does, when he says it, he's going to say it with 2 fingers crossed and he's going to just
All
be
right.
like, I apologize.
Let me flip this to the
for
other side
dropping
real-
a bomb on you.
Let me flip this to the other side real quick. If the Obama administration is intent on historical scorekeeping, there's plenty to talk about. Japan aligned itself with one of the great murderers of the 20th century and launched numerous invasions in a war that cost the U.S. hundreds of thousands of lives and billions in treasure, both fighting Japan and helping it create a stable liberal state after the war. And let's not forget Pearl Harbor. I don't give a crap about that bomb, and he doesn't need to apologize about nothing. If it's going to make him sleep better at night next to that thing he calls a wife, then fine. Go put a wreath down.
Let's keep Michelle out of this now. Let's keep Michelle
hey,
out of this.
hey. That's a sexy woman right there.
If you like Adam's
And
apples.
You know what? She'd whoop you.
That's
know
right.
that
I
much.
think she would
whoop you.
I think she
Hey,
would.
as long as she puts a couple hours in labor at the garden, I'll be all right. I need help at the farm. That's all I
So,
gotta say.
are we going to apologize to the Germans during World War II as well
for killing Nazis,
for killing
even
Nazis?
though they killed Jews? Yeah, no, I'm not apologizing for
No,
nothing.
man. History's already been written. It's already been done. Why do we need to touch?
You know
that
what?
again?
If they're not complaining about it, then why are we? But that's the thing. Like, who's like really asking for us to apologize to them.
Yeah, why is that?
It's probably a Republican
No,
trying
but-
to get
no
some underhanded,
way.
some new deal, some new lower tariffs or something.
When has the Republican Party ever swayed the Democrats to do anything? Never.
When did the Republicans actually come up with something decent and good that actually was going to help the whole
When's
country?
the last time a Republican ran Chicago?
1800s.
There you go. There's your answer. Why is Detroit under? There's your answer.
Wait. Now,
there's your answer.
When you got all these Republicans running these states, all of these states actually have low employment right now.
Democrats.
No, the Republicans, Republican-led states generally have lower.
Chicago.
No, I'm sorry, higher unemployment rates.
Chicago. Let's talk Chicago.
Also,
Indiana. Let's talk Indiana. Indiana.
Nobody should talk Indiana.
Well, we're run by Republicans.
It's a bunch of farm boys.
No offense, Crash. No offense.
No offense. But I mean,
let's see how you feel when I start serving ham, fresh, fresh
farm eggs,
fresh farm eggs. See if you want to make fun of farm boys.
No, you know what? I love you, farm boys. I need my bacon. I love you guys. I need my bacon.
We'll save the political argument for when we start talking about the presidential candidates in the next week or two.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, and I'm not trying to make a plug, but I get a big kick out of that farmersonly.com. You guys ever catch that commercial?
That commercial is hilarious.
That's where I met my wife.
Is that really? I have to check that out, man.
So is that also connected to the Goats Only?
I think it's like a cousin subsidiary website.
It's part of the same. I think it's part
All
of the
right,
same.
so does it change per state? Because, Kentucky likes the cousins.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Georgia.
As long as you're second or third, I think
it's second?
It's legitimate.
I think you're safe.
You're okay.
Yeah, you're safe.
Legally, but, somebody's just chopping in a sack with that, first cousin. They're
so
like,
don't forget legal. Is it ethical?
Susie Ann,
See, I go to goatsonly.com just to find some extra goats for the yard.
Oh, for the yard. Yeah, goats for the yard.
Something's got to keep entertained for Spaniard when he's over.
I'm looking forward to that cookout coming up here in June.
Are you having bacon?
Oh, yeah. 198-pound hog, June 11th. We have live music. We have a bounce house for the kids and for Paul.
What's her name?
Who?
You said 198-pound hog. What's her name?
What was the girl's name you picked up the other night, Trouble?
Trump Jr.
Trump Jr. Trumparella.
Oh, you invited her over?
I invited her, Trump Jr.
Man, she could put away some fried chicken I've ever seen.
Negative advertisement, still advertisement. Trouble won't tell you, but he's voting for Trump for 2016. So there's your plug, Trump.
He's got a
voting
tattoo
for
outline.
Trump. Now, it's a different Trump. It's a black guy named Trump.
It's Andre.
You didn't know. His name is
Andre Trump.
Is Dre Trump.
Dre. Give it to Dre. Oh, man. All right. On a lighter note, speaking of lighter notes,
we won't go there.
I gotta go. I gotta go relieve some tension here in my loins. So we're gonna take a quick break, and
TMI,
we're gonna come back
Wow.
here and hit it hard once again. We'll be right back. So stick around.
The U.S. Military All-Stars is embarking on their 26th annual Red, White, and Blue Tour across America. We are the only team playing all active duty and veterans from all branches of the military. We are traveling 12 states this year. We have a call to arms and are looking for players from around the world. We are a non-profit, and we also would like to challenge all veterans and baseball fans to show their support. We honor all veterans that have ever worn a uniform in defense of our freedom. Nobody delivers patriotism better. Go to usmilitaryallstars.com. If you're a player, join us. If you're a supporter, click on Donate. God bless you, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
We're back to Black Sheep Bravo. I'm about 3 pounds lighter. And welcome back, everyone. We're going to try something a little bit different today. We've heard some stuff from me, and even Trouble has brought up a segment for his own liking. But we got something new and special for you all today. Crash has a new and improved element to Black Sheep Bravo. So, Crash, take it away. What do you got for us today?
Crickets. Yeah, you threw me under the bus on this one. I can do the Crash's Farm Report.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's wing it. All right. So today's episode of Crash's Farm Report. It's the perfect time of the season to get your cold crops in. So your onions, your carrots, that kind of stuff. Get your gardens tilled. If first frost or the last frost of the season's about to break, turn your mulch.
So that's it. Nothing special about the
I thought you were
animals?
doing something different, like flinging feces or
That's
manure at each
that's
other.
at the zoo.
Oh, that's at the zoo?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you farm boys just did that for fun.
No, but it is. It is the perfect time of season right now. Turn your garden over, get it tilled up, get your crops in, get your compost bin set up for the season. Obviously, save your grass clippings. Discard your weeds. Don't throw those in there.
Weed. You got weed?
Weed. Oh, well, we do. Northwest Indiana, Newton County is known for hemp farms.
Hemp?
I did not know that.
Go and Google it. Newton
I'll have
County,
to Google
Indiana. And so on the side of my barn, if you ever come, your guys will be over for the pig roast, and by then those hemp plants should be about 5 foot tall till my goats get to them.
So we're talking about a hog wrapped in bacon and hemp.
And hemp.
That sounds like a party, man.
So during the war, basically, if you look it up on Google, during the war, there's all kinds of hemp farms down there. So it just grows in abundance. It's even funnier to watch these 16-year-old kids slam on the brakes and pull like one of these plants out, thinking they just scored some kush. I'm thinking, hey, well, you might as well go home and smoke some candlewick while you're at it.
Oh, man. So I get this image every time you mention the farm and a farm report and things like that. Are you wearing Daisy Dukes?
No, I wear overalls.
Overalls?
I told you they're coming back.
They're coming back, man.
You know what? I've been seeing them.
What, the overalls or the Daisy Dukes?
Both.
I wear
and they're
silkies.
both kind of scary because the wrong poundage of woman wearing the wrong threadage of Daisy Duke.
Again, you're talking to the wrong women, Trouble.
They're talking to me. That's the problem. See, they see a muscular black guy and they swear that I can pick them up, and I'm not throwing out my back for you, hefty.
Is that the case though? Isn't larger white women kind of tend to flock towards?
I thought it was the skinny black guy that they flock towards.
Didn't you just buy a new cologne called Sex Panther?
No, it's called Attract Them All.
Attract them all.
And do it in the
smells
butt.
Smells like a baboon's ass.
Yeah, and they flock to it. They're like, oh, he smells like he does something dirty.
Wow.
Or puts it in.
Well, did you notice, like, when we go to do these street segments, right, and all the men flock to Trouble?
That is kind of weird,
Hey,
man.
when you got capris and legs like mine, I'm gonna track them all.
Capri, So Glow, and Sex Panther.
Dude, you said capris, Soul Glow. You got to Soul Glow.
Do they even still make those kind of products nowadays?
I have no idea. I cook
Jerry
with something.
Curl juice
Yeah.
only in Watts, California.
Still.
That's how that Pam cooking spray came into invention. They stopped selling the hair product because it was outdated, and then they came out with Pam spray.
It was
you learn
Crisco
something.
at first.
Oh, Crisco. There you go.
You remember Crisco came in the gallon bucket, and we fried everything.
We still cook with it.
Yeah. I used to lather myself up with Crisco and
Go to
I'm sorry.
So back to the farm report.
I didn't. I kind of was taken
Wait a
away.
minute. Were you lathered yourself up with Crisco?
Yeah.
Now,
it was a phase.
did the goat help you at all?
This was pre-goat. This was before I met Crash. Yeah. So I mean,
Pre-goat. He does. He molests my goat every time he's over.
at least one of
both
them.
goats.
So wait. When the goat sees you, he's like, oh, that's my guy.
Hey, as long as he's not wearing a man dress and a turban, the goats are fine. It's when somebody comes over in like a man dress, or somebody comes over and they look a little bit darker, like you might have a problem, Trouble. Like when you come over, my goats might shy a little because they'll be like, oh man, that looks like a Haji.
No. What it is black eyes are normally overwhelming to the types with the holes that trying to keep them tight. Yeah, black men, we don't do. We don't leave you tight like you started.
So we're definitely back to the Crash farm report.
Well, there goes your farming report.
keep your goats
Yeah,
inside.
so back to farm report real quick. Yeah, absolutely. This week is the perfect time if you want a successful garden. Is get your cold seed into the garden. If you don't know what that means, just Google it. But yeah, this is the time of the year if you want a successful garden to get it going. Make sure your irrigation is good and solid. Make sure to de-weed your beds and get your mulch piles going for the season. Save your grass clippings and save your leaves at the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm starting to do with some of that. What do you call that? Composting.
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
you save that? You
mulch
save that
piles.
stuff. Yeah.
Compost. Yeah.
And then you set to like plant your seed.
No. So
leave
your
your seeds.
compost piles basically cook off and turns into usable soil or an organic material for your garden. So you don't want weeds in there. You don't want to put hay in there. You don't want to put meat products in there. You just want to definitely put.
I want to put my meat in seed.
I heard planting a seed.
Yeah, I heard that too. I just
And
got
somehow I'm thinking, plant it
putting meat
right
in
there.
something. So I don't know.
Put meat.
But that was
Yeah.
very interesting though. That was
Very-
very good. I learned
Yeah.
something new today.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
The
for
goats
that.
love you. Yes.
We all learned something today. So, speaking of learning something, we're going to talk about the VA here. Back in the home front, VA is looking to make some progress, which they have started to. Again, we've been talking about the VA every week. This time it goes back to the improved access to care. Now, of course, we're always going to have those types of stories where there's always a bad connotation to this, but today we're going to actually give some kudos to the VA system. They are definitely improving. Nationally, locally, it's one of those things where it's still a work in progress. There's still some problems that need to be rectified and looked at, but overall, it's starting to get a little bit better. So, I mean, one of the things that they're talking about here is they're increasing the authorization to get choice contractors, which is pretty big, especially in the rural areas where sometimes veterans can't get to these VA centers, and they have that option to go to someone of their choosing with the backing of the VA. But again, there's still some work out. There's still some things that need to be worked out. But I don't know. Have you guys been to the VA lately?
I'm still stuck on the fact that you gave the VA kudos for anything.
Well, I gotta, if I see something that I think there's some progress, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to give credit where if there's
Credit due.
where credit is due.
Well, we have a lot of listeners right now that are still active duty military. So to put this into perspective for you, so imagine going to the aid station and seeing Doc, and he tells you to drink water, take an E and pull security and gives you a Motrin and sends you on your way. Imagine VA 3 notches below that. So it's kind of important that you guys pay attention to the VA and what's going on. I was looking at this story too, and again, so if kudos go anywhere, really, and I know I've said it in another episode, Robert McDonald is really the only person really on our side as veterans right now, and like the My VA Access is part of his My VA, which was introduced in 2014 by himself. So it's like a one-man army at the VA right now looking out for vets. Now I know don't slam me, and I know there's people in the VA that mean to do well, but due to the bureaucracy of the program and the red tape, they kind of get pushed into the corner or out the door.
Right. Well, just like in any corporation, though, you got some people that like to do their jobs, and you got some that don't. And in this area here in the Midwest, I've come across a few people where they really took a lot of pride in their work. So there's nothing wrong with giving a good pat in the back and a little firm handshake to those who are really doing the job. So I mean, I've seen it. I make it a point to go into the VA every once in a while and talk to some of the veterans, and I'll ask them, hey, what are you doing to get your voice heard? And surprisingly enough, a majority of them don't even say a word.
Because they don't think they're effective. They don't think their voice is going to be effective. I always say power in numbers. If we did a march on Washington with veterans, which I'm also in the process, I don't know if you guys saw that on social media, I'm in the process of helping organize a veteran march into Washington. It'll make the Million Man March look like a joke. Not that the serious undertone of what they were doing wasn't important, but think about the sheer numbers of veterans if we say we've had a fucking enough.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Now, when you talked about veterans are not saying much, is it that we are yet and still programmed to just deal with it, and we haven't been able to turn that switch off?
I think we don't want to throat punch people, like literally. I mean, think about how many people.
I want to throat punch people every day.
Exactly. So there you go. There's your answer.
So I'm going to walk.
So would you rather just say, you know what, it's best I take a deep breather and step back, or is it best I go out there and actually say something? I know if I don't use a real methodical way of dealing with a situation like that, I'm going to go off the handle. And veterans, imagine 3-4 million veterans walking into Washington angry. That's why the concept behind our march that we're discussing doing is you incorporate everybody into companies where there's two people, a pseudo first sergeant, a pseudo commander, to keep that group in control and organize, so people aren't just going out and smashing gates and screaming. And if you're organized and you have an honest, intelligent voice, 1-2 people to be your PR folks, and everybody else is there in sheer numbers to show how big the problem is, you're gonna find way more success than looting and rioting and burning a city to the ground like they did in Baltimore.
Now, I guess, which one gets more national attention, though? That's the thing.
So we should erect a pole and start hanging them in the front lawn?
Well, I do that every morning, but,
You hang people?
Or are you talking the pole?
Or the pole?
I just get the pole erected.
Jesus Christ.
Leave it for trouble.
Leave it to him.
Now, yeah, but seriously, like, having 1 or 2 intelligent people speak, that's one thing. But how much attention are you grabbing from newscasters, social media, when this boring guy got up there and he spewed his spew?
You don't have a boring guy. You have an animated, energized, and intelligent individual who's dynamic in speaking.
None of us.
Who's this you talking about?
Yeah.
He's a methodical creature. He's in my head. I haven't met the person yet.
Oh, I was going to say.
So,
Actually, I do have somebody in mind, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet.
Colin Powell.
No, but
Close?
close. Honestly,
Bring him back. Why didn't he run?
for president,
I would so vote. I don't care if he's a Republican, and he is a Republican.
I hope
would
the show is
so vote for
recorded.
him.
Did you just say that out loud?
I would vote for Colin Powell as a Republican
Wow.
all day and twice on Sunday.
Somebody
I
take
just-
my money.
I just have a problem calling somebody colon. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Just make sure you follow it up quickly with Powell.
Mr.
Just call him
President.
Or Colin Powell.
Just call him CP for short.
CP.
I'd rather call somebody Colin than
I got
Hussein.
this urge now to defecate.
Really? Really?
No, but honestly, you want to tackle all these issues, the VA, the veterans care after they leave service, the veteran suicide pandemic, benefits for the VA, veteran community, active duty soldiers and their benefits, all these issues with homosexuality, haircuts, tattoos, different regular females in the Ranger Battalion, whatever crazy veteran issue you have going on, you want to handle these and get them all unfazed, for the lack of a better word, then you do a march like that. You put pressure on the active military. You put pressure on the post-military side of the house.
I don't know. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off here, but it's hard enough just to get a couple of veterans together just to go on a fishing trip, let alone trying to get a bunch of veterans together to go on a march.
Because everybody's busy trying to get health care.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, think about it. How many times have you tried to connect with somebody? It's like, hey, man, we're going to get together. Let's just talk, man. Let's get together and chew the rag a bit. We can hardly get that done. How are we going to get a million people?
two guys out to the strip club?
To the strip club, exactly.
So, yeah,
exactly.
You got a point.
We get on board with Grunt Style for their Summerfest, and we use their posters and say it's going to be a Summerfest, and when everybody gets there, we surprise them. It's going to be like a 10 million man march in Washington.
Because right now, there's a few people right now that I know that couldn't even march. They
Actually,
that's going to be the other thing.
We should just skip the march in Washington. Who gives a and let's just go to that Grunt Style Fest.
We could just do that.
Have you seen the pictures from last year?
Oh, man, I've been looking at some of their
creep,
models.
Go creep Tim Jensen's Facebook page.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed.
Hey, Max, can you get us a couple pictures up on the screen? I need to see what this is all about.
Yeah, while that's working, but while he's working on that, again, we're talking about the VA healthcare, and of course, it's going to be a work in progress. Crash had a great idea about the march. Locally, though, what can we do locally as veterans? What do you guys think that we could do to get our voices heard? Because, again, I don't even think we're doing enough.
I would start where within the local legions.
I do love the American Legion. A great organization.
You got to get them together. because there's an American Legion post on every other corner, and there's these. And nobody's talking.
Mm-hmm. Well, why is that? That's the thing. I still can't put my finger on it.
Is it that they're? I don't know. It
People
seems
think
like
knowledge is power.
And
Think about it. If a American Legion post is doing really well, they've got 30, like our Legion post, 30,000 in reserves. You know, they're doing really well. Our post is kind of not the norm, so we will share information on how we accomplish certain things. Mm-hmm. A lot of posts won't do that. You know, it's like the inner politics of some of the posts alone. People can't even, some of the posts, they can't even talk to each other. What you need, you're absolutely right.
Is it that they're trying to basically hoard their people, basically?
Yeah,
because
I think so.
if everybody finds out how well you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing, what your processes are, and it's so much better than my American Legion post, then I'm going to go hang out with you and pay my dues to you, and then now this post is losing membership.
You want people to flood in the door?
Yeah.
Put a bowling alley in the backside of your American Legion post and put stripper poles in the back room instead of a.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No, it's not getting me before we go off on a tangent here, but you know, I keep hearing people complaining about there's not enough numbers in the VFW and the DAV, all these different organizations. But when you go into a VFW, it is like a funeral home. And and I've said
it's the same thing everywhere.
Yeah, I've said, hey
but
man,
not at the Legion
why
posts.
don't we? Here's what we. I would love to. If there's any chapter commanders out there and you hear this, this is what the Spaniard wants. I want hot-looking chicks behind the bar, like pinup girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give me the
Dress them up in the pinup outfits.
real, yeah,
I like
like
it.
the good,
I
like the World War II pinup girls. Have them all work behind the bar. Have like different cool games at
Turn
the bar.
off Jeopardy. Put the
Yeah.
jukebox on.
Oh no, turn off the History Channel for one.
Well, your problem first is you gotta pay those girls.
I'll pay for that. I'll pay dues.
Okay, if they get 35 an hour or 35 for the day for typical bartender at the American Legion, if they have 100 guys lined up at the bar thirsty for many reasons,
That'll cover itself.
that's going to cover
Which
itself.
is true, but then the average VFW patron is how old? And
Exactly.
Well, that's the VFW.
And
That's-
he's not gonna put it away like he used to.
The VFW is a dying organization. We'll close off this and go to a break in a second with this, but the VFW is a dying organization because they're lacking numbers. They're super controlling of who they allow in the door as a member. Obviously, it's a combat veteran organization. And then when you get there, it's typically the bar's open to everybody, every swinging, you know what, and every other blah, blah, blah. And they're just local regulars. They're not even veterans, but they keep the lights on. They sit at the bar. They're all 55 years old. They're all drunks. And so when you go in there as a vet thinking you're going to be with other vets, you're not. There's only one or two other members in there. Mm-hmm. You walk in the American Legion, and although it is open to the public, it's an all-veteran organization, combat or not, and you tend to find more veterans there. You find more activities. You find more connection with the community. So, yeah, absolutely. I think we can solve a lot of these problems through the American Legion, which is like our union hall for veterans.
There you go.
So with that, hey, let's go to a break and hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
From distant beaches to thick jungles, through sandy deserts, over rocky mountains, and even right here at home. Calling for help is one of the things service members and their families do best. So why should life after the military be any different? 1-877-WAR-VETS is a confidential call center for veterans and their families that provides round-the-clock support so you can talk about your military experience or transition home.
We can also answer your questions regarding readjustment counseling, educational benefits, medical services, and any other veteran-specific issue.
As another prepaid benefit earned by your military service, 1-877-WAR-VETS is here to point you in the right direction.
And because everyone here is a veteran or a spouse,
from all eras and branches of the military who use VA services just like you do,
we can say without hesitation, been there, done that. Just like your battle buddies were there for you then, we're here for you now.
Welcome back to Black Sheep Bravo. Crash, Spaniard, Trouble, and Max. We're still here. We ain't going nowhere.
So we pulled up those pictures from Grunt Fest from last year.
So, just so you guys know, I've never heard of Grunt Fest. It was my first time. So I had to go check this out. The guys seemed really excited about it. So I'm scrolling down some pictures, and it's a black guy. A black guy is a part of the Grunt Fest. So now
you got to go.
I got to go because I can't leave him alone as the token black guy. I can't, in all honesty, from the heart, I cannot leave the one token black guy. There's got to be at least two of us.
Yeah, strength in numbers, man.
It's strength in numbers. And he looks kind of big. He could be overwhelming. I want to make sure, the other guys that's my height seem like, oh, okay, he's my height. I can hang out with him. The other black guy, he's just, ginormous.
Did you see any farmers in those pictures?
Well, speaking of ginormous, some of the breasts.
I might be the only farmer there.
Dude,
There's some great pictures in there. I told you, man.
Nobody told me about Grunt Fest.
So Grunt Fest is held and sponsored by Grunt Style, the veteran-owned clothing company. And
wait. Another black guy.
There's two. See, now you can't go. Now you can't go. You're going to quickly turn this into a Black Lives Matter movement.
No.
Here we go.
It's going to be Grunt Fest, the dark version.
The dark version.
I gotta let Tim Jensen know over at Grunt Style that I'm a licensed massage therapist and I'm very good at applying oils.
Bring a table.
I could apply oil for the women there that are in this the bikinis, because skin is very important. You got to make sure that your skin is moisturized,
and the tattoos need to be protected.
They have to be protected, and the sunblock.
They need to be nourished.
Yeah. I got a pretty good technique.
So it's July 30th, 2016 on Blarney Island. Google it. Blarney Island, July 30th, 2016. Grunt Fest 2, sponsored by Grunt Style.
To show my support, I'm going to set up a breast cancer awareness booth.
I like it.
And I want to scan for breast cancer.
Well, that's a great idea.
Well, I'm going to bring that breast cream that I created out of bacon grease. It's called American Grease. We'll try it out.
I'm going to offer pap smears.
Wait. Did you say bacon grease?
Bacon grease.
Rubbed on
America.
Boobage. Boobs that smell like bacon.
Save the boobies.
Boobs that smell like bacon. Are you serious? That would be motorboating at its finest.
Damn.
So we're hoping to be out there representing Black Sheep Bravo. If we're not out there representing Black Sheep Bravo, we'll at least be there helping Paul represent the three lonely black men in the corner. We'll see if we can get some more veterans of his demographics to join us, because I know they're fun to drink with. As long as they have a couple bottle of Hennessy, those guys are
good.
And
like I said, we're going to get some.
What are you drinking over there this morning?
Goldschlager.
Why?
Because it gets me there.
It gets you there, man. It gets me in the John.
Yeah, it makes me vomit.
Really?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You guys got to man up. Stop it. Jeez, come on now.
I like refined.
Refined. You got to roll that R. Refined.
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 Yeah.
Well, I don't even know where to go with that. So back to Washington.
Let's go talk about Putin's nipples.
First we're going to talk about Somalia.
But I want to talk about Putin's nipples. But we'll talk about Somalia.
Is that still a country?
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
So a Pentagon spokesman says the U.S. conducted airstrikes Monday and Tuesday in Somalia that killed an estimated 12 militants affiliated with the Al-Shabaab Islamic extremist group. And I'm not really impressed with 12. I'd be impressed with 12,000. I'm glad to see 12 of them dead, but I'd really rather see 12,000 of them dead.
Okay. It's a little bit morbid.
I am morbid.
That's Crash for you.
Yeah, I get it. If they get the point, if they get the message, isn't that what we're kind of looking for also? You don't have to kill 12,000 to get the idea across.
Yeah, but if you ever had an argument with your wife, you got your point across, it was very clear and concise, and you still didn't win the argument.
And you want to seal the deal.
We need to seal the deal. So
that is when I have the dog pee on her forehead.
The Pentagon spokesman, Captain Jeff Davis, had basically said that the training camp about 120 miles north of Mogadishu was destroyed. Mogadishu.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, I'm surprised this wasn't reported on more avenues.
Probably because only 12 people died.
I think today's media, they want more numbers. The bigger the number, the more
I do too.
newsworthy it
Call me
is.
morbid.
Yeah.
I want to
think
put
there's some
them in a
truth.
cage, pour gasoline on them, light them on fire, bring some popcorn, play some Leonard Skinner.
Oh, see that's something. That's something that you could definitely charge people, and
We could do this at Grunt Fest.
that's there you go. Yeah,
Dude,
that's good.
cage match.
Yeah, the
with
black people won't
Islamic
show up for that.
extremists.
I'm sorry, we're not going. We're not going to show up for that.
Why not? Whose side are you on?
First of all, I'm on your side from a distance, though, because the smell of that is going to be something rank.
Downwind.
Downwind?
Downwind.
I mean, so
I'll
long
bring
as
the
you got
bacon
fan-
grease. If I bring the bacon grease, will you come?
If you
We
got-
will burn them in bacon grease instead of gasoline. Leonard Skinner, Jack Daniels, and your Hennessy.
So how extreme is extreme?
I'm pretty morbid.
extreme with that?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
morbid.
yeah.
Like, would that send the wrong picture though? Like, let's say we could do that. Let's say that all bets are off, gloves came off, everything's off, and we're allowed to do whatever we want to terrorists that come to our country.
Or even in their country.
Or even in their country,
If they're
yeah.
killing Americans and innocent people, even locals.
So how far is just too far?
There's not. You're asking me like the same. If I catch a pedophile raping my daughter, how far am I going to go?
You don't have
that's
to.
a big, yeah, that
you know
is.
what?
So you want to ask how morbid I am?
Mm-hmm.
If I said it on air, I guarantee I'd be in for a psychoanalysis.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. We'll hold it because we need you. We don't need you to be locked up right now in an asylum.
I need
you, man.
Well, he
to
needs your
want me.
goats more than he needs you.
Yeah, he does.
You know what? I figured something out that I was trying to milk that goat.
I know you were, and it was
But
the
it's
wrong side.
It's a male goat.
It was a male goat.
No wonder why I couldn't get
Eric,
any
why has he
milk.
got one nipple?
That was weird. That's like
That milk was kind of thick.
I thought the goat was deformed. I'm like, how come this goat doesn't have only has one nipple? That sucks. So now I know why. Anyway, speaking of nipples, we're going to talk about Trouble's favorite guy here.
My favorite
Putin.
nipple. Putin. So Assad has taken Russia hostage. So basically, the Syrian president Bashar Assad is only growing more defiant as negotiators prepare to descend on Geneva once again in an attempt to broker the terms of a political transition and end the 5-year civil war.
That's funded by both the CIA and Pentagon on both sides.
Same thing. Yeah.
Who didn't obviously get the memo from each other.
Right.
A fluster cluck.
So Russia's attempt last month to force Assad into a corner by announcing a partial withdrawal of advisors and warplanes, it backfired. So Assad appears to have realized that Russia's reputation as leader in the Middle East depends on, at least for now, on maintaining the status quo and keeping the regime intact.
So why don't we save a bunch of money, have Putin and Assad just duke it out in a corner and be done with it? We'll all go drink afterwards.
That would be ideal. But, in this modern warfare.
Some five-finger death punch. The Grunt Fest girls coming out.
Yeah, see, you really.
They could
you
be the
got
ring
this-
girls.
You got this perfect image, man. I mean, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. But it's
Take Gruntfest overseas.
start off someplace. We could even start it right here. Start off in the Midwest someplace. Start there and work our way up.
Well,
But
first, we're going to start over here and get Kim Jong
But the one-
douchebag over
So
here.
now, what was that? What was that metaphor though? Assad has taken Russia hostage. How?
yeah, that's what I don't get. This guy Assad is really trying to push some buttons.
The
here.
only thing I could formulate out of this report, it was here, quote, that they are hostage to his continued survival, and Assad can withstand Russia displeasure and irritation. He feels under no compulsion to take major concessions. So it's really not hostage. He's kind of forcing the hand.
You know what? Two things I thought of. One was dirty, and one was actually made sense. So if Assad is forcing the hand of Putin, Putin just needs to show him that picture of him on that bareback on that damn horse.
Yeah.
And show him, if I can tame a horse, I can tame you, and put the screws back to him. It's like Putin has made his reputation on being that hard line. Like, how is it that he cannot push aside and tell him, hey, you need to be in line with what I got going on here, whatever it is.
So why don't we just miraculously airdrop Chuck Norris into this crap and be done with it?
Well, my thought was, can you imagine one of our presidents or a candidate riding bareback
You guys are really stuck on that image. I'm still stuck on Gruntfest. And you guys want to look at a man naked on a horse.
Hey, his right nipple is something amazing.
I want to be that guy on the horse, though.
So then be that guy.
I'm going to be that guy.
Don't share pictures with me or on Facebook or Twitter.
Just for that, I'm going to do it. I'm going to blow up your phone right now.
Farmsfun.com.
Please.
Cows.
I wonder how long the Syrian conflict is going to go on. That's what I wonder. We'll have to look into it at the next episode.
Oh, well, get this. Again, this is just, we're talking about Syria. I saw something on social media about there was a Syrian refugee that came, I forgot it wasn't the United States, but he owns 3 companies now. He owns 3 businesses, but he was a refugee.
Is it a Slurpee business, a taxi company?
But that kind of struck a nerve with me, man, that, here's a refugee that's coming to another country and he's taking off. I mean, so Syria we need to end Syria once, do something, either put up or shut up. If you're going to be picking on Russia, pick on Russia, get it over with. You want to start coming to the United States and start picking a fight, let's just get it over with.
Amen. And speaking of ending, we got to wrap the show up.
Damn, it's already, an hour's gone by so quick.
Well, strip club opens now. I think it's, what time is it? All right.
$10 lap dance.
It's time for naked boobies.
I got the first round.
Really?
Sugar and Spice goes on at 12 o'clock, I think, so we could probably catch them.
When I order a round, though, I order like 6 drinks at once.
I'm talking
double Jack and Cokes, all shorts, splash of Coke, no straw, no ice. So you're going to buy the first round?
Sure. I just got to see my first camel toe first. I got to get in the mood.
And you're going to buy the first round of lap dances for Mandingo down there?
Yeah, there you go.
The black guy. Cometh.
There you go.
Cometh all over the place. Yes.
Man. In fact, we do definitely
You're banned from Gruntfest. You haven't even made it there yet.
You know what? That just adds to my reputation.
You got to make sure you wear the capris, though.
No, you got to wear silkies.
Silkies?
Yes.
I thought you had the silkies.
I do love my silkies,
No,
man.
the overalls. You wear the overalls.
Silkies with overalls over on top of them.
He wears the capri pants, and I'll wear the chaps.
I'm white, though, so my junk only hangs out to an extent, and that's because I went so many years without underwear.
So now, are you going to have, like, the sunburn from the
farmer's tan?
The farmer's tan. Oh. And
speaking of farmer's tan.
Yes. So we just got our Black Sheep Bravo T-shirts, and I look amazing. These other guys, so.
Yeah, I got to cut the
sleeve. They don't fill it out as well as I do.
We're not talking about the capris again.
Oh, my bad.
Mandingo.
Sorry. But yeah. So
if you're interested in a shirt,
are we? We're offering them online.
Offer them online. Go to social media.
Yeah.
Social media. Hit us up. Black Sheep Bravo. We're on Facebook. We're on. Where else are we on? We're on
Twitter.
We're on the Twitter.
The
Twitter, the book
the
face,
Instagram.
We're out there, and we got shirts.
We're on the G17 Gmail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So again, thank you all for listening, and send us some requests, things you want to talk about, some input, feedback. We love to hear from you. Until then, you keep it real. Safeties are always off. We are always armed, and have a great one.
Hoorah.
Black Sheep Bravo Radio was recorded in Northwest Indiana. The show was produced and directed by Max Bose and hosted by Paul, Albert, and Tony. Until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.